Hello, Cats and Kittens. Oliver Jose and Oshku back in the Crisis Corner, uh, doing some One Piece content, specifically on the what I suppose is that an official name, the Cowley Trio or the Cow Trio?
That's what we call them,
That's what. Yeah. All right. So,
and I think it is known.
yeah, and it's kind of relevant to as we'll see, it's kind of relevant to the current story. But anyway, I hear my man Dave. It was a
Boy,
so I mean we're past Wano and the crew is officially a Yako crew, and so and just this last chapter, man, Lucci talking about I don't accept Straw Hat as a Yako. I disagree. I accept him as a Yako. I don't accept his. And I love the Straw Hats. I swear, I love the Straw Hats. But anyway, like I said, you only as strong as the weakest link. And, these cats.
I look. I agree with you on that one, dude. And it's not a question of love because I can tell you, Oda has done a very good job, and the Mugiwara are essentially my favorite. A lot of them are my favorite characters in the whole series. So it's not a question of love. It's about you being able to hold down your position. So
Mm.
I think we are going to end up being simpatico in this discussion.
And we've been kind of through this a little bit in
Yeah.
past discussions.
Hmm.
But it's just. But this is an analysis of the trio and kind of foreshadowing maybe what their potential could be. So, I mean, let's get to it. First of all, let's rank the three of them. And as a metric, you could say either attack potency or potential, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could say, let's say attack potency. Which one of these dudes don't you really want to see in a fight?
So if I'm being honest, at this point in time in the story, post Wano, the one that I would least like to see in the fight is actually going to end up being Nami.
That's interesting.
I don't necessarily want to see her.
Mm-hmm.
She the only one come out with a body on Wano, so it is what it is. And I'm not saying she ain't get that by hook or by crook, but she came out with one. So
Okay.
she got that nasty Zeus powered up attack that
Okay.
I don't know, it's pretty awful. What about you?
If we're going from one down, if we're going from one down, I would say one would be it's close between Nami and Chopper. It's close. I probably would give it to Nami. Yeah, I would give it to Nami, which automatically would put my man Usopp there.
At the
At the
bottom, at the
bottom,
bottom. I guess you
at
know
the
what.
well, for now,
I,
for now.
well, for now, but I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you that essentially you and I list in that regard. If we're ranking the three of them, that's how I rank them as well. So it's going
yeah.
to be Nami, Chopper, Usopp.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I say mainly it's that Zeus power. Even though she hadn't full blown, but none of them have full blown flex at this point.
yeah,
But that's that boosts. I mean, say if you take Nami from Ennis Lobby,
hmm,
when she was putting down, I mean, she actually regressed from that point forward, but she was putting down like captains and stuff like that with zaps on the regular when they was holding down the what was there on the bridge on that bridge
yeah,
from
yeah,
she was putting in
yeah.
work. That's the
Okay,
best. That's the best showing that she probably had. I ain't gonna say the series up until Wano at least. Yeah, that might have been the best showing in the series. She was putting down, captains and maybe whatever rank people that was just getting zapped. Her and Robin was putting in work. And she wasn't like fleeing and screaming and none of that nonsense. She was just putting in work. I had hopes for her at that point, but yeah, I'd say that.
but but alas,
Yeah, I mean that's what it is, But and look, and let's be clear. I understand the what they bring to the crew and what they bring to as elements to the story. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I get it. I'm just saying they may have outpaced their original, you know, what they originally brought to the crew. At
Okay.
least a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Usopp's always going to be what he is. That's fine. I mean, I'm just talking about flexing them out.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying?
you know,
Comic relief is comic relief. There's nothing
yeah,
wrong with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You
So
know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? I get
I'm
it.
with you. Comic relief is comic relief, and in some regards, these characters are supposed to represent the everyman, you know,
For
for us as
sure.
readers, so that
For sure.
could, quite frankly, you see, for all intents and purposes, a One Piece god like Kaido running around. It's going to take you a second to get your courage in line.
Right.
Um, you know, like you said though, the issue that we're going to run into is, and I guess I disagree with you slightly in terms of Luffy being a Yonko, because part of what makes a Yonko is the crew that they have underneath them. So it's not just, this individual, it's the squad that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. They haven't engaged. So,
That can be said. That can be said. I got no argument with that.
okay.
Now, next,
Hmm.
of the three, who has the most potential?
That's actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's the tough one for me. So I'm still on the fence. I see a lot of potential in, flip the list a little bit. I see a lot of potential in Usopp, and
Mm-hmm.
actually Chopper is my you know, we've had a conversation. You go back and check the video, folks, about hockey and One
Yeah.
Piece and what we feel like the attributes of each member of the Straw Hats should be. And I feel like, to me, people sleep on Chopper and his ambition. And I'll be honest with you, to me, that's kingly conqueror's ambition. To want to, cure all diseases.
That's
That's a
crazy.
heavy. That's a throne right there. So to my mind, Chopper has a lot of potential. So I'm really always torn between him and Usopp in this regard.
Mm-hmm. If we're going again top to bottom,
Hmm.
see now the here, I mean, and yeah, because when you put that man, what you call him, Vegapunk into the mix, right? Let's say he
Oh,
rolls with him for a second. And you know, Frankie already said, "Yo, check out the ship." Blah
yeah,
blah blah.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
I can't believe that he might not upgrade my man's uh Usopp's like weaponry. I can't believe that he's gonna walk out of that without some kind of upgrade potentially. But that's like I said, it's on head canon, whatever. Um, I
I
don't want him.
mean,
I don't want him to mess with Chopper because he already taking handouts from what you call him,
who,
your boy
Caesar?
Caesar. Yeah, I mean, to me, Chopper should be self-contained. If he upgrades, he should upgrade on his own. He should say, "Well, I got to get better at this, man. I'm a doctor. I'm a basically
Well, I mean, in that,
he's in his own science,
I mean,
medicine.
in that
You know,
regard, I'm going to say it's going to depend on how you look at those particular characters. Like you're saying, you don't have a problem with him taking a look at the ship for Frankie and maybe taking a look at Usopp's weaponry. So it
or the
depends on
climate tech,
how.
climate
Yeah,
tech.
yeah. So in my mind, it just depends on how it's rolled out. So
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with, because Vegapunk. It just depends on how Oda works him into this works him into the scenario, because Vegapunk, to my mind, steps on characters, and I don't. I'm not one who enjoys that, because I agree with you. I want the achievements that they have to be their own. I want them to own their achievements. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to bring him too much into this. That's why Sanji gets on my nerves in some regards, because it's
Yeah.
it's it's not his achievement. He didn't earn his upgrade in Wano. That was given to him. So I hate that kind of stuff. I
Right.
hate
Right.
that. So I agree with you in so much that Chopper has to own whatever he gets. But if you saying Vegapunk gives him insight and he's able to utilize that to increase the efficiency of that Rumble Ball, I'm not gonna be mad at it. If he takes a look at Nami's climb attack and he's like, maybe we could tinker with this a little bit, I'm not really gonna be mad at this. So I'm with you. It just depends on how these upgrades are achieved
Okay.
and how it rubs me.
Okay. All right. So to answer, well, put it like this:
Hmm.
1 and 2 is going to be between Usopp and Chopper,
Okay.
because in all
Fairness.
reality,
Nami maxed
Oda,
out.
No, Oda don't mess with women hard like that. So she
I
most
mean,
likely.
I
So
don't
she
know, though. I don't know, dog. Robin. I mean,
Robin got her. She got some shine, but
yeah, yeah.
I mean, is he gonna put two over it? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think Nami go?
To be
You don't
a
think?
front, not to say that she'd be a front, because she ain't gonna get to the point of being a front line because there's too many people in front of her. But
I don't think she got.
I don't trust all the women. I
Well,
don't trust all the
I
women.
kind of, I'm not going to disagree with you too much, but I'm gonna say there are some women in there that he doesn't mind giving shine to, but and I actually would say if I had to weigh them out, the problem that I run into, or the thing that I would say you always want to consider with Nami is I would actually say if anybody asked me, and it kind of wanes a little bit since post time skip, but the three main characters of One Piece, I would always say off the top of my head, is Luffy, Zoro, and Nami.
Mhm.
So Nami's stands in the series is too high for her not to, but ultimately, to my mind, it's seeming like she's closer to being maxed out than the other two. So, I mean, with Zeus's upgrade, I don't know exactly how much further Nami has to go as a combatant.
You see, I want to see an application of Zeus in like a melee fight, in like a big, because she took down, what was that? Not page one, the other one.
Oh, Ulti.
Oh, she took out Ulti,
Yeah.
and but it was more or less 1-on-1. I want to see, because she seems more like a melee fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
the cool thing about Nami is her climate attack can affect a wider area than any of the others.
Okay.
So if I was to say all bets are off, I would say Nami would be number one. But I don't trust all the women, so I don't know.
I mean,
I will put like this. At this point, I will put Usopp out front because he already developed his hockey, and if he gets a boost, if he was to develop another form of hockey
it,
and get his weaponry boosted up, he couldn't affect as wide an area as Nami, but he would be scary. He'd be a
well,
problem.
see, I'm gonna say maybe because as a if he's
There's a lot of
because
ifs in that.
if he, I mean, no, I mean, but he's a sniper, so I mean, you
Yeah,
give him, you give him a lookout, I mean, he going to work, so I
yeah.
don't know,
He don't even got
that's
to.
the
And at this point with his hockey upgrade, he don't even got to see what he's aiming at. You know what I'm saying? He could probably sense cats is coming or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We
and
don't even know.
he
I,
should be crushing people, and he has to have the armament upgrade, so he has to have it. That's imperative to
yeah,
him being able. So his upgrade has to come, and I mean, I told you. See, my problem with the three of them is I really feel like, well, it's a lot of them, but ultimately they have to have hockey because I'm not understanding how hockey works in the series, and they're beating cats. It just don't necessarily make any sense to me if they
yeah.
don't have hockey. So I need some upgrades in that regard for the cowardly trio. That's important.
And we didn't even get to see. It's like Usopp got observation, and then it was just
For what?
forgotten.
For what?
But
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I'm with
saying?
you. I
He
mean, for
should.
what?
He should. All he needs now, even to say he gets a weapon upgrade
Mm.
and really levels up his observation, he'd be good. I mean, if he get armament at that point, like I said, he'd be a problem. He'd be a problem for anybody. Because I mean, you got long range, mid range. he's killing it. You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
He
I
just he just
mean, like
set up his post and just start knocking people out left and
I'm
right. You
trying
know
to
what I'm
tell
saying?
you, he's crushing people.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
so for that reason, I will put him out front. And that's the more I think about it, it would be probably Ussop, Nami, Chopper. I think is maxed out because they don't
you
seem
think
to want to
Chopper's
do.
maxed out?
They don't seem to want to do anything with it.
Uh,
Now, if he gets armament, all right, you got a problem. He's already. I mean, Monster Point. I mean, I'm getting a little bit tired of all of these like side effects and stuff. But where afterwards you turn into
yeah.
something. It's just getting kind of ridiculous. Everybody else that fights them, they just go all out and then just get tired.
Yeah.
These guys, they grow two heads or something like that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I guess we want to say, I guess Otis' point is, and I guess I'm curious as to, and I don't want to branch out too much about Luffy's side effects in terms of how he uses his Zoan fruit. Because to my mind, if he has, it seems like he has complete control over his body. That ultimately, that he's free to use his body the way he wants, and it can impact the surrounding area. So part of me feels like Luffy's side effects are going to be somewhat self-imposed.
Okay.
It's a mental drawback as opposed to whatever. Like Chopper is using a cheat to get these
Yeah.
kind of effects from his own ability. So he's using a drug. So I don't necessarily mind there being a drawback, but if he's tapped out, then I just don't know. I mean, the problem that we run into is he went head to head with Queen,
Right.
and he wasn't going to do anything to Queen in Monster Point. So no matter how hard he was swinging, he wasn't
Wasn't
going to put
going
this
down.
dude down. So I'm just curious if we went further down the chain and we put Chopper against somebody, does he get better results, or is it
He
his
would
lack of
likely.
hockey? I mean, is he
He
putting somebody down, or would you?
it would have to be lower mid tier, I guess,
I mean,
because
let's
some of them cats that they was fighting had hockey. Like
yeah, yeah. So I mean, let's drop him against Page One. So we get
right.
Monster Point Chopper versus Page One.
He could probably
Who
do
you?
something. He could probably do something. I don't know if he could beat him, but he could do something. The
But you
page
got to
one,
be in a fight
the page one, he didn't take that attack. No, he got put down by that attack from
from Big Mom. So
Big
he was
Mom.
out.
He was out.
He
One
was
hit,
out.
that was it. All right.
He was out. Ulti was my MVP. I
She
mean,
took that. She take that.
I straight love Ulti.
So
Like I mean, just real
he
talk.
would he wouldn't fare well against her without hockey
Mm.
because that's just too much. Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
Ulti's put them down. I mean, it's not even a question
Oh,
to my
and then the
mind.
other who was Jinbei fighting?
Who's who?
Who's
Oh,
who?
no, oh
No,
no.
all them people was just
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Who's who? Sasaki and Black Maria. Definitively,
So,
they take Chopper in a fight. So the question, I mean, ultimately, you get and Page One. And my question is, we pairing Chopper up against one of them. Does he come out on top without hockey?
I mean, he needs. I mean, it's weird because he's like basically. I mean, he's. I ain't gonna say he's the muscle. I wouldn't say. I mean, but he represents power, right? I mean, he kind of represents power, right?
Uh-huh.
His ability, his versatility and power, because he has some different modes that he can hit. That's true, which is cool. I mean, but if you was to add hockey to that, I mean, if he went kung fu point and had hockey,
And hockey, I mean, like real talk. Real talk.
oh, he could get them antler joint. What point is that? When his antlers get real big.
Oh my goodness, that's
And
is
hockey
that
them
jumping
jokers up.
point?
Yeah, this is a jump point.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
when he's I think that's jump point.
and then he can hockey up his antlers and ram you with them jokers.
Yo, like real talk. I think no,
Is
not jump point. Which one is it?
uh
Oh, let me. I'm gonna do a cheat real quick.
now do that.
Apologies, folks.
Jump point is definitely when he's
That's when
like
he jumps
on
up.
all
I mean,
fours.
yeah, yeah.
Is that when
No,
you
no, that's when he. Which one is it? All right, let's see.
he ain't used a lot of them points in a while anyway. All he do now is monster point. This,
I mean, let's see.
he's kind of been forgotten a little bit, you know.
So let's see. Um,
Horn point? No.
is it called Horn Point?
Yes. Now I gotta know.
Yeah, it is Horn Point.
All right, horn point.
Right.
Yeah, if he was to do horn point and then hockey up the horns, that'd be off the hook, you know.
I agree with you on that one.
And what's one joint when he get the big arm joint?
Arm Point.
Arm point, yeah.
Yep.
Again, I mean he could be a problem, but
He could be. And it looked like he was on trajectory from in the pre-time skip to be a problem.
yeah,
So it's very disappointing that because and I don't want to say, I mean he was lapping the other members of the Cowardly Trio pre-time skip. So it was
yeah,
Chopper, Space, Ussop and Nami.
right.
Like it was, and then now I don't even.
They've been forgotten. They've been left behind. Well, they're catching up a little bit up until Dress Rosa when my man got his hockey, and now Nami got her upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if to sum it up, I would say at this point, potential. I still would say Ussop, Nami, Chopper.
That's how you see. So I'm going to say potential. I'm going to lean towards Usopp simply because of the Yasop connection and who, in my mind, Yasop has to represent on his crew.
Right.
So I'm going to say Usopp, Chopper, Nami in terms of combat ability.
Okay. Now the last question: which of these three would most likely, or who would sooner jump into the mid tier of the three of them, as it stands right now? Because they're at the bottom.
And drop somebody back to bottom.
Essentially, they would have to jump somewhere, so take a Frankie or a Brooke, jump ahead of them.
See, it's going to be based on potential. So if that's the question, then I'm gonna have to say it's going to probably be Usopp, and it's simply because I'm assuming, and I don't know. It's just going to depend on what Oda chooses to do when they meet the red-haired pirates, when they come up against Akagami and them, what that's going to look like. Because I just looking at Shanks's crew, I just feel like Yasop has he's one of the top cats.
Mm-hmm.
So conversely, I'm thinking Usopp has to be somebody. It don't seem like it. I guess once they make it to Elbaf and he becomes a warrior,
a brave warrior.
Yeah, once he gets that, I'm assuming he's gonna leapfrog some people.
Look, him always having some coward in him is fine with me, because if you look at and being a combatant is fine, because you look at like Doc on my man Blackbeard's, he's sickly and weak. But he put in work a little. He throw them apples at people.
You got to do what you got to do,
What you do. So dudes like being like not, outwardly, robust fighters, whatever. You can put that to the side a little bit. He can maintain that comedy relief aspect, but just
when it's time to check in, when it's time to check, like real talk. So ultimately, to my mind, Luffy can't be they can't be a Yonko level crew, because it's the Yonko level crew. It's the crews themselves. That's what the Marines fear. Like I know people want to when we go back to the end of Wano, and you got Ryukyu on Wano, and he's fighting those people, and Shanks sends out his hockey, and he's like, "Oh, I got to run." And I know people want to give that as a Shanks flex, but real talk, to my mind, he's not running because it's just red-haired Shanks coming to the island. He's running because red-haired Shanks don't go nowhere without Ben Beckman, Lucky Roo, Yasop, and them. Like it's just
Yeah.
it is what it is. So it's what redhead represents. And quite frankly, I don't care who you are. An admiral might try to test it against the Yonko, but they ain't coming against the Yonko crew.
Go cool. No.
Like it's just not going to happen. So to my mind, he has to flee because I'm not making it out, and there's no way he would. So Usopp, Chopper, and Nami being where they are, like there's no cheat for them. Like Frankie, he's a cyborg, so he kind of gets a pass. I don't know what's going on with Robin, but I'm gonna tell you, these Bama's they not holding down their spots, and because they can't hold down their spots, I don't feel like Luffy could truly be a Yonko.
There's got to be some mechanism or arc or something by which you can get them up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it ain't gonna be Egghead. I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so
mean,
either.
they could get upgrades on the tail end that would play a role in the next arc when they got to fight somebody, but I don't think they're gonna get no fights in the Egghead for them to pull themselves unless like Usopp say, I'll take out Rob Lucci, you know what I'm saying? But
I mean,
he
like
half dead right now. You know what I'm
real
saying?
talk,
He ran
real
up
talk.
he ran
Not
afoul of Lucy, he half dead.
not to say whatever, because I kind of see, you have Rob Lucci go up against Luffy, and in some ways, Luffy maybe he wants to practice Gear 5, so I bust it out, whatever. But it's not a competition. Like he's crushing this dude, so he don't need to fight Lucci at
No.
this point in time for it to be a fight. I mean, if
He needs somebody. They just need opportunities.
like
They
Kaku
could they,
Zoro, man, like this, I mean,
yeah, that's gonna be a slaughter. That's
I mean,
it's
it's
I mean, I
not
don't even
like
want to get into it for real,
it's
but that's not even
not.
going that ain't gonna matter. Man was sleep, you know what I'm saying? He was asleep. And then he woke up and deflected his
Like it was nothing. Like
You know
it
what I'm
was
saying? He
nothing.
didn't even seem concerned, you know what I mean? He looked irritated, you know what I'm saying?
Like
But
it's just
and there's nobody there's like I said, they can't
let the members get in here. Let Nami take out Rob Lucci. You know what I'm saying?
or let him
Let
fight one of those. No, I ain't gonna say the pacifists. Well, they're not grown yet. So
they got hockey. They
yeah.
crushing them. They can't go against the
And that's
pacifists.
see, here's another thing. If Usopp getting his hockey, the type of hockey that he got lent itself well to how he got it.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm not sure that you can awaken armament hockey when the dude's about to stab you in the heart. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can, I don't know. But it made sense that he got it under a stressful condition, doing something that he does. He was
And,
taking a shot. You know what I'm saying?
and I wouldn't be mad if in that same in along that same vein if he gets armament that same way. Like essentially somebody's coming, like Sugar was coming for Luffy, so I got to get her before whatever. But ultimately, if a pacifista, if one of these, PXs are coming for Luffy, and I got to stop them from getting to my captain, and I got to bust through them, I need this shot to be able to do that. So my
Right.
willpower says, I got you. And along that vein, I don't have a problem if Usopp's hockey blossoms in that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because armament hockey is the only hockey that we've never seen anybody awaken on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Conquerors and observation, yeah. But we never see, like I say, somebody was about to stab you in the heart, and he was like, ah, and then it just break. We never seen that before, so we don't even know how it develops. I mean, all we know is that Luffy went to an island and
He came
Zoro
up.
went to my man running with my man, and they came back with all my man again, saying with Sanji, I want to see how that works. I might get that to Chopper.
Oh, him awakening?
Maybe he get into it with that dude Burgess. And Burgess just be
Maybe or
beating on
somebody.
the Burgess be beating on him, then he rise up, his fist turn black, and he check that dude. I don't know.
I mean, if you want to use comedy, maybe he's been called Tanuki one too many
He
times,
just losing
and
it.
he's.
You
I
know
mean, that
what I'm
moment with Queen, it be amplified. Like,
saying? He gotta get it somehow. But like I say, yeah, for and to be honest with you, if I was to say somebody that was going to could step to elite, past mid tier, somebody that could go elite, I would still say it's Usopp.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, because yeah, I think he's the only one that can probably step to elite level.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one.
So I think there's hope for him. Let's go with like I say, my girl, because she be the last one to get out of the bottom ten.
Oh, you think? I mean, like right now at this point in time, with that, with her upgrade, she's. I mean, she's teetering. Like, I mean, if he gave her something, I mean, I don't know. Maybe a nice pair of balls, so she could get out there and mix it up. Then maybe. But I mean,
Do power wise, I see her being like I mean, I hate to uh, cross pollinate, but like Storm, X-Men.
okay,
She could
okay.
bring if she could bring. I see her putting down like ships.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? She come over. She bring like thunder, and she could bring up storms and blah blah blah, and
I mean,
I see her taking out little fleets.
I got you. They switched up their epitaph and instead of cat burglar end up being weather witch.
Hey, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that because
I
I mean she's controlling the weather, especially on the high seas. Man, you could do some damage. You know.
Yo, I mean, she could be like, I mean, I'm with you. Like they all have potential where they
Yeah.
could all like Luffy could be sitting on a crew of monsters. Like I had a problem with the I everybody being named the commander. That's ridiculous to me. Firstly,
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It's nine people in the crew. Who you commanding? Like I just like I just like I don't it doesn't make any sense.
The
But
way I see
ultimately,
it setting up is that each one would get command over one of the grand fleets, whatever. You know what I'm
one of
saying?
the one of those guys in
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
I
Although I
mean,
can't see Olympus taking orders from that. Not that he a big time dude, but I can't see him taking orders from Nami and that.
if he levels these Bama's up where they can inspire fear in whomever, then maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. But like right now, if I run across Nami, I'm not afraid. Like I just
Yeah.
I don't feel it in my heart. So I don't know, man. That's a problem for me. I mean, the idea to me is if they run into anybody pre time skip, should they be able to handle
Yeah.
them?
Yeah, I would say. You
I
talking about
mean,
that they had previously fought, or?
yeah, anybody that I'm talking about anybody Luffy
Oh,
previously fought. I'm sorry. Let me
right,
apologize. Let
right.
me let me reframe it. So at the end of it, let's we roll through Thriller Bark. Are we at a point where as we feel comfortable with with Chopper?
Taking on what you call him?
Yeah.
What's that boy's name? What's that dude's name?
Oh, we both blanking
The
on the
big dude. What's he called?
um.
Moria.
Oh, Moria. Yeah, Gecko Moria. There we go.
That's all I'm saying. That's how it should be.
I
It
mean, they
should
should be
be.
able to run through these people. Like,
That's
I
what I'm
mean, in all
saying.
honesty, I understand that Lucci stepped up. He's awakened his fruit. And
Hey,
maybe he has hockey.
hey,
Congratulations. Yeah, Lucci. But I mean,
I'm bad. Yeah. Well, I
at
mean,
this point, like, I don't know. Like, because I guess conversely, I don't mind the problem that I have. And I don't necessarily have, if you want to make Lucci a issue, because I like the idea that ultimately our heroes aren't the only people that are upgrading. They aren't the only
right.
people putting in work. Like these last 2 years meant something to everybody. Once Lucci lost this fight against Luffy, he was on the grind. He's looking to, be a monster. I got you. But we need these cats to flex. I need a flex. I need a Usopp flex. I need
To
a
me,
Chopper flex.
to me, that's the only reason to bring back old dudes. I mean, the Lucci. That's why I didn't honestly think that Luffy and Lucci were going to fight.
I mean, it's not a fight.
Yeah, I mean, and if he when he went year five, I was like, okay, because to be honest with you, your advancing as he has, year three should still be sufficient.
Oh,
Or two,
oh.
two. I mean, because he beat him with two basically.
Like real
Because the
talk at
thing
this
is,
point.
everything gets exponentially stronger. So that two
Yeah.
just ain't just sitting there like that's the same gear two I hit you with. What you call? You know what I'm
Like if we
saying?
were gonna make this real, dog, if I'm being honest with you, Jose, he wouldn't have used any of them gears. He would have hit him with one quick one little.
Let me get my man. What you call him? The spring dude. What you call him? My
Oh,
man,
Bellamy.
Bellamy. He
Yeah.
Bellamy.
Oh, it would have been a Bellamy situation. Like real talk. I'd have had him hit a little hockey on it. Gumma Gumma no, a Conqueror's pistol, and I had him like he'd have put that Bama down. It would have
Lay
been
him
one
out like
hitter.
a rug, man. Lay him out like
Yo,
a rug,
like
man.
that should have he'd have been hanging Lucci on the wall.
Yeah, this is when your little dude should have flexed, So, like I
Yeah,
said, I
yeah.
wouldn't have had a problem with Chopper taking dude on
Oh
somebody
no.
like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I would like to see the progression, though. I mean,
I'm
yeah, I would like to have seen him flex in Wano to the point where you say, you
okay. I
know,
can see it.
yeah, he just say, Luffy he'd be like, nah, Luffy, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Let
Yeah.
somebody step up.
No, I'm absolutely with you. I wouldn't have mind had Lucci came made a move for Luffy, and Chopper would have said, "Back up! You can't." Those little moments where they have, "Oh, you can't come after my captain,"
You know what I'm
and they
saying?
start. I wouldn't have minded that. Like this is real talk. But
I see,
it is.
I see potential for these dudes, and I want them to rise up. I mean, even because you can't, some people ain't gonna get bumped down. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? They might get past Brooks, but I doubt it. Maybe they ain't getting past Robin. All right. Who else is in there? Who's in the middle? Robin, Brooke,
Brooke and Frankie.
Frankie. Nah. Well,
I mean, that's a strong. That's a strong.
like, I mean, but even if you stay on the bottom, but you can take that, wipe that
The
stigma
bottom
off of
has
you.
to elevate. The bottom
That's
has
what I'm
to
saying. Just
elevate.
wipe the stigma of being weak off of you to the point where they say, wow, those are the least fighters, and they took our half of our men.
Yo, like
So they be like, oh my God. I mean, they be terrified.
I mean, it got to be a situation in which, like, if somebody's claiming the territory for the Straw Hats, like if Luffy's saying Fisherman Island is my territory, they running the Straw Hat flag, and somebody comes to Fisherman Island, Luffy has to be able to say Ussop, go on
Deal
to
with
Fisherman Island.
it. Deal
And
with
go ahead and take care of it. So once they see, and they see God Usopp coming, they're like, "Oh my God, we got to get off this island quick." He's shooting Bama's from the ship.
Yeah. I look, Big Mom, what she do? She said Peckham was what you call him over there to deal with stuff
Yo,
like that.
yo,
Same deal. You see your little G's over there saying, deal with this dude,
yo.
man.
It was this real talk because it wasn't Katakuri who rode up on Fishman Island. It was Peckham's
And what's
and Baron
it?
Tamago.
Yeah, Tobago.
Look,
So they can at least rise to that level. And there wasn't
look.
nobody clowning Peckham's really. I mean, not till
No,
after the fact, till he got knocked out by he got one hit by what, Sanji?
I mean,
I think, but not until after that did they start saying he was a job.
I mean,
But he was at least had some status before they started calling him a job. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is these dudes got again. I just not no knock on Oda, no knock on whatever. I'm just saying that they're dragging everybody down. That's all.
I'm not. I mean, I think that I agree with you. I
As
mean, it's
characters, they're great. As characters, they're great. I'm just saying within the context of a fight,
a fight and a fight.
a manga,
Shonen. Yeah, fight
no
shonen
shonen fight
manga.
manga.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah, yeah.
They
I'm
they
with you.
they they're just dragging them. They're dragging them down by still being at a
At
certain
where they
level.
are, and I agree with that
Yeah,
110%. Like I as characters, Oda does great work with a lot of these folks. Like, quite frankly, Sanji being an example of, I'd actually argue, probably the best character art um, post time skip, maybe even all of One Piece. He put in work with Sanji. Like that story popped. However, in the context or the view of this is a fighting shonen manga. And I got you. You can wrap them up any way you want to. Oda's one of the children of Akira Toriyama. You know, one
Mhm.
excuse me, Dragon Ball, whatever. This is a fighting manga. In the
Mhm.
context of that, you know, he's done Sanji a disservice. In the context of a fighting manga, Chopper, Usopp, and Nami have suffered greatly.
Mhm.
Period. And I thought he was going to right some of these wrongs in Wano, and let it be like they're in his lobby where cats are leveling up left and right because
Right.
he has to bring them along because otherwise you call him BS to some of the stuff that's going to have to happen later on in this series.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to call BS. You
They
set this up,
they had to go one on one with some of the Blackbeard's people, and I don't
and
see
I don't see it
it.
happening. Like you've not shown me anything. Like and I'm also one of those people who would say sometimes not showing things is a way to demonstrate something. But
Right.
we've seen them come up against page one. And Nami and Usopp, they was gonna take that L. I mean, Oti had
Yeah.
her, you know, I mean
Mhm.
Nami's life was flashing before her eyes, talking about don't kill me. Like it was a wrap.
Oh,
You know, I don't God just I don't
I
know,
just
man.
can't take that. I mean, I tried to wipe that out my mind, man. Alcohol, whatever. I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It was just like it was. Nobody should beg for their life on the alcohol. They're supposed to make other people beg for their life. Oh,
I
that
mean,
hurt me,
to
dude.
be fair,
That
they weren't a Yonko crew yet, and
yeah. Well, I mean, look.
and Oti was a member of a Yonko crew, so she had people begging for their lives.
See, I mean, and just that you know, that was like near near the level of. Well, I ain't gonna say it was near the level of what you call it, the Marine Ford in terms of casualties and maybe not. They wasn't that far off.
No, yeah, Bama's was dying.
So it
Yeah,
was like it was that was. I mean, apparently too young to die, I guess.
I mean,
I suppose, but yeah, those stakes were so high and they came up so short. That's all I'm saying. I mean, everybody should have came up big. I mean, because I always wondered, like if the crew had met up with my man in Marine for, could they have held their own? Nah, not really,
no,
because
no.
he could barely hold his own.
I mean,
He
he
was
was
getting
lucky to
smacked
make it
up.
out. Yeah, he lucky to have made it out
Almost had a hole
alive.
blown in his chest. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
But,
yeah. Oh no, oh
but
no.
now you basically saying take that back and saying that Luffy's running with a crew on par of Whitebeard who belong in that fight. They're supposed to belong in that fight, and they didn't. They did not belong there. I mean, maybe going forward, I guess. But I mean, Zoro did, Sanji did, Jinbei, fine. Robin, she stood up. Some cats, they was out of their league. They was,
I mean,
but I don't know. That's all I'm saying. That's all. And Nami had already been through some stuff with a other girl what you call them,
okay,
whole
okay,
cake.
yeah.
So you think maybe she'd be like, hey, let's go, Uh,
Mm.
all right, so that's it. I mean, I ain't gonna be the dead horse. I love these guys, though. I'm saying I love the whole crew, even these little G's. I love them.
Oh, I
You
mean,
know
I
what I'm
love him.
saying?
Usopp is my second favorite character in
Oh
all of One
yeah,
Piece.
yeah,
I
yeah.
love Usopp. Like I love him. That's my dude.
I want to say, like I say, I want him to be an actual commander. I want him
Yeah,
to be like his pops. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? The dude
I'm with you.
is like one of the top four. You know what I'm saying? In terms of even not even power level, just in terms of influence on the ship. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, he the only cat in there to put a mutiny on that joint. You know what I'm saying? He hardcore. You know what I'm saying? The only man in there that left the crew, fought the captain. You know what I'm saying? He's is he my second favorite? He might be second to Zoro. Maybe Zoro, Usopp, Luffy. I guess
That's your
most likely, yeah.
mine is Zoro Usopp Sanji. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But like I say, I don't want to make this any longer than it has to be. But that's our analysis of the Cowardly Trio.
Okay.
Let us know what you think. Let me where are you at with these guys, where they are now, where they should be, and where you think they're going to be at the end of the run. That's it. We'll come up with some more content soon. But until then, stay loose.
Peace.